The concept for scammer payback? No, I have 3 goals for this channel. No. 1 is to help people. No. 2 is to expose these scammers. And no. 3 is to make a living. Now, usually you don't get to combine all of those things together, but I think that this channel has given me the ability to do so. So there's a few different ways that I try to accomplish those goals. One way is by running these live streams where I try to show actual scams in action so you guys can see how they work, what to look out for, and hopefully not fall for them. The other thing that I do is when I get the chance, I like to interfere with the scammers. So that could be through actually getting access to their computer. And then showing you guys what kind of software they're reusing, where they're located, who they are, things like that. Or it could just be through publicly shaming them. There isn't much that these scammers hate more than having their scam exposed and publicly being made fun of. So typically, my videos follow a very similar structure. First, I'll set up the call with someone pretending to be an easy target, usually an old person. Then the scammer will try to con this person out of money, and that S. When I'll start turning the tables on them, and I'll start asking them questions and doing things to try to figure out who they are, where they're located, what their scam is. Then eventually I'll reach a point where I can expose them and reveal all of that information to you guys. At that point, I'll try to get you guys to report them. Block the payment if it hasn't gone through already, and at that point the video will end. Now, I use a lot of different tools to accomplish all of this, and a lot of the tools are pretty obvious, like the voice changer, where I'll pretend to be an old person because that is something that these scammers really target, and they try to trick these old people into giving them money. Another tool that I use a lot is remote access software. So sometimes when the scammer thinks that they VA1 and they think that I am the victim and I am gone, give them remote access to my computer so they can try to steal my banking information or whatever I'll actually accept. That invitation, and then reverse the connection back onto their computer. And then at that point, I can see everything that they're doing, see all of their information, and we can leak all of that to the public. Another tool that I use is called an ascent tool. Basically what that does is allows me to find IP addresses, emails, locations, things like that associated with a domain name or an email address. So if the scammer gives me an email address, or if I can get an IP address from looking at their connection details, I can throw that into an ascent tool and find out where they're located. Sometimes it'll even show me their real name and their phone number. There are also other tools that I use, like VPNs and anons, to stay hidden while I am interacting with these people. And I also use a screen recording software to be able to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing on my screen. Now, I want to make one thing very clear. This is not hacking. If you're watching this video and you think, wow, that sounds like hacking, you're right, it is hacking. But I'm not doing any of that stuff. I am strictly acting as an investigator. I'm acting as somebody who's trying to find out who these people are and expose them. Now, I know some people are going to ask, well, what if I gave the scammer my bank account information? Well, in that case, I would say don't do that. It's probably not a good idea. But the reason why I say that is because I do want to get in a situation where I have to tell someone else, hey, don't worry, it's okay. Just gave your information to a complete stranger on the internet. It's not a good idea. I'm sure there's ways around that, but I don't know what they are. And finally, the last thing I want to say is that this may seem like it's a lot of fun to mess with these people, and it is. But keep in mind, this is somebody's life that's being ruined. And it's not just their life. It's the lives of their family as well. Their family probably thinks that they're a good person. They probably have a lot of people that love them. And it's sad to think that somebody would do something like this. But unfortunately, this is the reality. I hope to one day put myself out of a job.